morning, good morning, good morning. Check. Let's make sure this. Why can't I have any fell? There we go. That would be why. I guess we need to start a camera. Maybe you want to see me. I don't know. Maybe you don't. Maybe if you looked at the email and you saw that said, hey, not only are we going to learn some cool things today, but you get to see me today. Oh, isn't that fantastic? Isn't that fantastic? All right, so before we get started, I got some really exciting things happening for you, slowly but surely in our Moxi Works platform. But before we really start getting into some slides I'm going to show you today and then walk you through a few things with the new platform, I kind of just want to walk through kind of what's been happening with Moxi since we launched. So we launched Moxi Works 5 years ago. And for those of you that don't know what that is, if there's anybody new on the call, Moxi Works is one of the technology platforms that we have that includes a CRM, presentation tool, marketing tools, website tools, all integrated together for you. And what Moxi has done is they are slowly but surely going to be giving us some upgrades with the Moxi Works platform. Okay, so it's going to eventually all go to what they call Moxi Rise. Now let's talk first about some of our performance with our Moxi Works platform. So if you didn't know, how many people, so we've been doing this for 5 years. Let's talk about Moxi Present. And Craig, you are not allowed to answer this because I already told you what this is. Okay. How many presentations do you think we have made as a brokerage? Throw it in the chat. Our listing presentations, marketing presentations, buyer presentations, open house presentations, recruiting presentations. We've been doing it for about 5 years. How many do you think? 10,000, 30,000. I wish, Pam, I wish it was 50,000. Man, you guys actually have some high hopes. I appreciate that. 500, okay. Hyperversion, any of them. Okay, so Moxi Present, we've sent over 19,000 presentations as a brokerage. Okay, now why is that important? As a brokerage, if you're using those platforms and you're using those presentations, you are showing up 19,000 times that you're showing up consistent to the brand. And I don't have time to tell you all the stories of agents that actually win business. Maybe Jessica Beggins just got a listing against four other agents because of her presentation. I'm not going to say that's why she's a top agent. That's not exactly why, right? But that's one of the tools that she uses very, very well. So, and I will tell you, most brokerages do not have a tool like this that we can show up. So let's talk about Moxi Engage. I'm just going to throw this stat out for you. So Moxi Engage is obviously our CRM. Okay, that's where we send our campaigns, our e-blasts, which we love the e-blasts, right? You love creating your own email and trying to send it out every week. It's amazing. Well, after today, when I show you what's available, everybody's probably going to go in and probably start doing this. Okay. But just so you know, the past 6 months, well, the first 6 months of this year, we've sent out over 550,000 campaigns. So if you are not on that list of sending out either e-blasts, any of the campaigns that are available for you, you are way behind because 550,000 consistent. When we look at the brand, we look at colors, it doesn't matter what you're sending. They think of Century 21 and they tie it to real estate. So no matter what. Now, who can guess so far this year that our top 10 users of Moxi, what the average commission is for the top 10 users of Moxi Works platform? I'm not saying this is why they're tops, but there's a correlation. Throw some numbers in there. 17,500, okay, 25,000. You guys are way low. Our top 10 users this year averaged $297,000 so far this year in commission. Let me try that again. Our top 10 users of the Moxi Works platform, $297,000 on average is their gross commission. Now, it's not all just because of Moxi Present. Moxi Present agents that use it make $50,000 more, and our brokerage, nowhere else, our brokerage. So they do 5 more deals. So if you're not using Moxi Present, you're missing out on 5 deals possibly. Moxi Engage is another $40,000. So just those 2 tools alone are worth $90,000 more than those that do not integrate those into their system. So just let that sink in a little bit. Let that sink in a little bit. But let's get into why we are here today. We are here because we are in early launch, kind of pilot, I guess you can say, for the new Moxi Rise platform. Now, I'm going to preface this as we are an early release. Not all of Century 21 has this yet. We are one of the first brokerages to go live. I've been using this system for probably 4.5 months already. So I have an idea of kind of what's going on and what's coming down the line. So what that means, though, as an early release, there's going to be an option for you to give feedback if things aren't working correctly, right? Or if you think it should do something. We're only going to have certain pieces at first, and then they're going to start rolling this out throughout the next year. So there's always going to be some new pieces to the entire platform of Moxi Works, which they're calling Moxi Rise. Now, today, what we're going to be going over is I'm going to tell you what it is, okay? We're going to talk about the key differences, because right now, the main focus with the Rise platform is going to be around Moxi Engage, the CRM side. There are changes down the line for the present side. There's going to be some other changes that are going to happen. But right now, the focus is going to be around the CRM side. I'm going to walk you through kind of what to expect, how you can integrate it into your business today. We're going to talk about how to access it and kind of where you can find some training. Just so you know, I am almost done with all my videos. You will have them that will walk you through everything we're doing today. We'll have the replay for today that you can go back and watch also. But I will have access to it. Will be on Beggins University. And you'll have a little section under the Moxi Works trainings that's going to say Rise. And then you're going to go through and there's going to be all the videos that you need for what we're talking about today. That is not available yet, though. I'm still tweaking a couple videos, okay? My apologies. Let's see. I'm always slacking. All right, so let's kind of talk about what is Rise. Okay, so agents demanded something faster and smarter. All right, again, we know that the Moxi Engage tool, it's awesome, but it takes some time to move around, to do things, to load things up. Hopefully you can get your e-blast done. I know Jesse Griffin's on here today. He consistently sends out e-blasts, and I'm sure that it's not the easiest, even though he does it all the time. And I am quick with creating this stuff, and it's still sometimes the system is not necessarily the fastest. So that's changing. Agents wanted more automation. Oh, I got some things for you, which is pretty cool. And it's all designed to create more conversations, and it's the newest upgrade part of the Moxi Works suite. So again, today we're going to focus specifically on Moxi Engage. Now, let me kind of give you the bullet points of what Moxi Engage is. So it's a high-performing upgrade to Moxi Works suite, starting with Engage. So our new CRM is for speed, ease, and advanced campaign functionality. Your faster email sending, smoother campaign building, improve drag and drop tools, and clear reporting and insight. So if you truly need to see who you should be talking to, and especially if you're using the system, the reporting is amazing. I mean, down to what links they're clicking on. So if you truly are using the system for some of the email automation, you can see what's working and what's not. So guess what? You're going to be able to add video to your emails now through YouTube. So when you're sending out some of this stuff, now they can click on something and you can see if they actually clicked on any of it. I got to keep this chat up too. I'm sorry, guys. I guess I should, I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, we're good. I'm going to bring that down so that's not in the way. You're going to go in the corner. Okay, pound it. Thank you, Jesse. All right, cool. So let's see what's happening. So when is the change happening? So right now we have access to the Moxi Rise platform. I'm going to show you how to get there today. But not everybody is going to have access to this. Like I said, we're one of the first ones that are actually getting this as a brokerage. During that time, you are able to use both Engage and Rise. So it's not just here you go, have fun. You can actually use both. And there's going to be some things that you're going to need to still use Moxi Engage. So you're not going to just say bye, see you later. There are going to be some things that you're going to want to use in Rise, and I will be providing more training as more things are happening for you. Okay. Now, when will Moxi Engage retire? So basically, Moxi Engage and some of the other tools will say they're going to go bye-bye, and it's all going to be under Moxi Rise. There's not a timeline specific on that, but I am thinking probably middle of next year. So you don't have to worry about going in today and be like, oh my God, it's not giving me everything that I need. It's all going to be there, and they're not just going to turn it off like they've done in the past. And say, hey, we don't have Zap anymore. Here's this. Good luck. We're kind of slowly but surely going into that right now, okay? So you don't have to worry about that standpoint. So what's new in Rise? I already talked about faster, more powerful. I'm going to say that a few times, and you're going to actually get to see it today. Next level marketing automation. I'm going to talk through that. There's a new tool called Market Insights. Huge upgrade to Neighborhood News. Okay, huge update. That's part of Neighborhood News. A lot better reporting. The reporting is amazing. It's so easy to get it. You can even get an email after a campaign's been run and actually give you who looked at it, who clicked on it, who engaged with it, how many times did they do it, and all those kind of things. And then there's going to be some expanded marketing tools that we have. So this just, I know this is a little hard to see, but this is basically a small little chart that says this is what Moxi Engage did on the left, and on the right, that's what Moxi Rise is. So a whole bunch more stuff, okay? Again, I'll share these slides with you. You'll be able to see them, but just a whole bunch more stuff that you can do with the Moxi Rise platform. So let's talk about some of these differences. So what are some of the features that are in Rise that are not in Moxi Engage? So the campaign builder is amazing. And when we go through it, I'm going to create like an open house e-blast to send out. And it's so easy to do, and it's so fast. It's awesome. Again, we have market insights is going to change from neighborhood news to that if you decide you want to do that. In email marketing charts, personalized content automation, personalized listing automation. Would anybody love when you get a listing, it just blasts your entire database like right away, and you don't have to go in and do anything? Well, guess what? That is something that is now possible. Same thing with just sold and eventually open houses, eventually price decreases and things like that. You can set these things up and forget it, knowing that you're getting in front of your database with these, and talk about saving time, because trying to build out a just listed on an e-blast. Tell me how long that takes you, Herlon. You don't like doing, okay, I get it. It's okay. It's fine. So that's some of the cool things in there. There is a contact section in there too, where your contacts will come in. I'll kind of walk through this. There is the capability, obviously, recurring campaigns. There's going to be the option of adding multiple panel options with your emails too. So instead of just one featured property, you can actually have lists where you can put multiple things in there. You're also able to share on social media, specifically Facebook, with this too. So I'll kind of explain that a little bit more, but imagine you're running a campaign. You have a campaign that you created, because I'm going to tell you, almost anybody can do this in here with the new system. Let's talk about Toys for Tots. So Toys for Tots is coming for the South Shore area. We have it in actually a few weeks. It's coming sooner than later. Let's say you want to create a graphic, or you take a graphic that Susie sent you, you create a campaign, and you start with an email, and then you know what you want to do? You want to focus that message. So now I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it into a social post. And then I'm going to have another email that goes out that is going to kind of promote it a week before with another social post. So now I can create a campaign that is consistent around my brand and what I'm focusing on. And not only will it go on your email, but it will also post on Facebook too in that campaign, so you can deliver that same message and schedule it and then forget about it. Okay, let's see. Marketing automation. So again, personalized content. I already talked about the listing updates and things like that available for you. Reoccurring drip campaign. So I'm going to walk through. You can see how fast this thing is going on the right-hand side here, how easy it is to kind of create these presentations. So I want to talk about a few kind of housekeeping things with this though too. So we're talking about campaigns. There are only a handful of campaigns that are available right now at Moxi Rise, and we'll walk you through how to set those up and things like that. When Century 21 finally makes the switch over to Rise from Moxi Engage, that's when all of their campaigns, at least as of right now, will be available. Okay, so if you have Fine Hopes Home and Estates campaigns you have running, you're going to have to keep that engaged. Remember, I said you're going to have to be using both systems for a little bit. So the only campaigns that are available are going to be holiday campaigns, just listed, just sold, market insights, and then custom things. So anything outside of that, you still want to keep running and engage. And I will tell you that if for the holiday campaign, specifically, since that is one that's available for you, you want to make sure you turn off the old campaign before you put the new campaign on. It's okay. I have a video that shows you how to do it. It's literally 3 clicks and Moxi Engage and it's done. And then you're going to go in and then I'll show you how easy it is to actually set it up. Okay. Yes. You already have access to it. I will get to that. I will get to that. The question was, do we have access now for that? And are people coming through it? And I will talk to that. Yes, you do have access now. Moving my cheese. I'm still learning. Well, John, this is the good thing because you never learn Moxi Engage. So this is an opportunity for you to learn the new system. Yes, sir. Well, I'll show you. I'll show you actually I'll show you everything that's available. Save the questions. They're coming. Let me go through all this and then I'll open it up for some questions. Okay. Again, one of the other changes you're going to have are the market landing page, market insights. Okay. So market insights is going to replace neighborhood news. The cool thing with this is if you decide you want to turn this on right now, okay, again, you don't have to right away. You can still leave neighborhood news going. When you go and set that campaign up, it's going to say, hey, just so you know, when you start this, it's going to automatically cancel and stop your neighborhood news and put everybody onto market insights. Okay, so there's no moving anything, turning anything off with the neighborhood news. It's going to automatically pull those people that have been set up on neighborhood news and put them on market insights. Okay, really easy to do. Again, you're just going to go through, set it up, and kind of move through that. All right. Couple key things with market insights versus Moxi Rise. So I guess the easiest thing to explain is there is a little thing in here called smart groups where you can go in and kind of create triggers and tags based on how people come in. So you can go by zip code, you can go by certain things. And if you put them in the system and it says, boom, hits this, puts them automatically in a group based on the information that you put into it. So there's going to be a smart group for market insights that automatically pulls in for you. Now, it's important to understand with neighborhood news and Moxi Rise. Okay. Once you turn them off, you will not be able to turn them back on neighborhood news. So if you turn them off and you decide to use market insights, that's your option. You can't go back in and switch it. Okay. So once you decide, I want them on the new tool, the market insights, and you start that campaign, you cannot go back into neighborhood news. Okay. Now, a couple of things also with this. Yes, these are all, you can edit these too, by the way. Before neighborhood news, you couldn't do anything. It was so basic. Here you can go in and you can tweak that message when it goes out so it can be really specific to your brand and where you're at. Okay. Now, what if your client on neighborhood news has multiple neighborhood newses? Maybe you have them on 3 different ones. It's going to be the first one that, or the latest one that you have signed them up for is the one that is going to get pulled in for market insights. Okay. Also, if you have clients that are in custom neighborhood news, the custom is not available in the market insights right now. Okay. It's only by zip code. Okay. And now this is one of the reasons why they are looking at changing that and adding that feature down the line. But I don't know if you guys actually looked at your neighborhood news when you did a custom search. It always pulled outside of that anyways, because if you have it so, it has to have a specific amount of data that comes into it. And if there's only one listing and one sold, there's not enough data to come in and give it the information that it needs. So it always pulled a little outside of that. Okay. So the thing really comes down to is if you have everybody on custom and you want to leave them on neighborhood news, do not start market insights yet. Okay. Or if you just want to make it easy, and because one of the great things with this system is they have an improved sending technology, improved bouncing technology. So it's going to get to more people the way that we're using this platform. Moxi Rise was built by a company called ActivePipe. Okay. ActivePipe is a company that actually focused strictly on email marketing and CRMs. So they bought them, brought them in, and now we have all of this great stuff. We're thinking about going with ActivePipe, but it was going to cost us so much money. And then all of a sudden, boom, Moxi Rise gives us basically what that actually is. Go in and take a look and see if you can do it by property. But if you did neighborhood news by zip code, you cannot. So if you're already doing that, you could not do that anyways. Now they can go in and they can adjust stuff. So I will tell you neighborhood news. So you're missing out on neighborhood news. You may not like it because that's your, yeah, well, no, but this is, like you may not like neighborhood news and how it works, but I will tell you neighborhood, and this system is going to make the open rate even higher. It is the highest open rate that we have with any email that we go. It's close to 50%. Okay. Open rates, typically anything over 40 is good. Neighborhood news is at 50. This is probably going to even be able to shoot it up even more because of the sending engine that it has and the capability of not bouncing as much and getting caught. Okay. So the idea, this isn't about being 100% specific with it. It's like a quick CMA. Quick CMA is not going to give them what the value actually is. It is a touch point, a conversation starter, something to show them what's going on. And by the way, it keeps them on your website. So instead of going to Zillow and getting that report every single month, they will get this that keeps them on our website. Okay. So Zillow, they start looking at properties. They can literally get thousands of agents if they decide they like something. You send them neighborhood news, and we know that it's a 50% open rate on average for us. And they find a property that way. Guess who's going to get that lead, and guess who they're going to call? You. Okay. But if you don't want to switch it, don't switch it. Leave it. Eventually it's going to go away. But if you, okay. So what I would say, if you're only doing custom, leave it in neighborhood news. Do not set up market insights, but eventually that will go away. Okay. All right. So I already talked about that. So let's keep moving. All right, smarter reporting and leads. I'll just show you kind of what that looks like. I'm not going to fly through this because I really want to show you this. Please repeat the questions in the room. I did repeat the questions. They were talking about neighborhood news, specifically on. I repeated after they were done, so hopefully you got that. And it was talking around neighborhood news, and it was talking about custom, and if you could change a specific type of property. And if you want to keep your custom search, you should keep it on neighborhood news for now until it changes and it's gone. All right, let's talk about some of the drag and drop. So again, better bounce complaints, social media. We kind of hit all this stuff. So I'm just going to kind of fly through these. I kind of hit all these already. So what does this basically mean for you? Again, this is just a small portion of what's happening with Moxi Rise. And right now it's going to be focused around campaigns. Your contacts are going to automatically come into the system. So you do not have to worry about doing uploads and things like that. So when they're actually already there and you don't even know it, it's all there ready to go for you. So the idea around this, though, is to have more conversations because we're getting in front of more people with the systems. You're probably going to use it more because when I get in and show you how to get around on it, it's going to work much better. They have a new flow of clients. So if you don't like the sales flow, this is perfect for you. Chris, yes. So the recipient changed zip code. Yes, they still have access to be able to adjust whatever they want. And then what will happen when you do turn it on, that neighborhood news link that is on your website will switch. Okay, we'll switch to the new market insights. So that's automatically going to happen. So if somebody finds market insights on your website, they're going to be signed up for the new one. You can only do one for right now on the market insights, Mike. Sorry. One zip code, buddy. Less time building content and a cleaner workflow. So this is what it's going to do for you. So reminder, again, we are at a early release stage. So right now, nobody can impersonate you. So if you're working with another agent, you cannot impersonate that agent to do anything for them. Really, for our brokerage, you can't call me and say, help me. I can't just get into your account right now. Okay. So that means we're going to have to sit down and go over stuff if you need it. That will change too. But as of right now, we don't have access to that. There are no brokerage templates available either. Okay, that is coming real soon. So I will let you know when those are available. But if you want to send out our monthly newsletter that comes out every single month, you're going to have to use Moxi Engage still for that. But the nice thing is that's already done. It's just clicking some things to actually send it out. But eventually all of that stuff will be in there. All that stuff comes through. So all unsubscribes, all that stuff feeds through. So it's not, you don't have to go. No, when they unsubscribe, it's them saying, I don't want anything from you. So you can't just go in and you can't subscribe them back. So what I would recommend is if they want to resubscribe to something, or if you get a different email address for them, and that's all part of the Can Spam Act and stuff like that protects you. If we could go and turn on unsubscribes back to subscribes, like what's the point? What's the point of even having any of that stuff? I did. I said it. But the question, let me say it one more time. The question is, if they unsubscribe, can you resubscribe them? No. I don't have an answer for that. So talking about duplicates, you should be going through your database and ensuring that and Moxi Engage does catch duplicates if you have the same information that goes in. If you do not have the same information, so if you have James McNally and Jimmy McNally, that's two different people in the system. I recommend, and this is probably the time of the year to do it because everybody's working on their goals. Everybody's working on what they're going to focus on next year. Everybody's working on, let me make sure my bio, well, hopefully you're doing all of these things. Let's see if my bio's updated. I want to make sure I hit January 1st ready to go. So you should always spend some time ensuring your database is cleaned up. Now, this is the thing, even if there's a duplicate, if it's the same email, they're not going to get it sent twice, and they never did in Moxi Engage. If the same email went, they wouldn't get it twice. Okay, it only goes to one email. It's not going to send, if I have James McNally and Jimmy McNally, they both have the same email address, I'm not getting two. It's only sending it to that one person. Okay. All right, so how are we going to integrate this into your business? One, again, we talked about your contacts. They're automatically fed into Moxi Engage. Okay. If you're going to be using the campaigns, the first thing you're going to want to do is stop your holiday campaign in Moxi Engage. If you're going to use market insights, we want to start using that right away. And we'll walk you through kind of how to get those done. And then you're going to want to start the holiday campaign. There's only 4 more things going out this year, but get it set up so it's in this system, if that's which way you decide to go. And then I would also start the just listed and just sold for your database. Because I think it'd be kind of cool if you get a listing tomorrow and this is set up that you don't have to go and create anything and you're getting in front of your entire database. Yes. Yes, I'll get into that when I go in through that kind of stuff. Okay. All right, so let's take a look. How do we get into it? So when you go to Moxi, on the top where it says Moxi Engage, website, present, there's a thing that says Rise. To get there, you could go to 21 Online if you have not done that yet. Tammy, they should automatically come in. So you've already gone to Rise and you've gone to your contacts. Have they haven't loaded in yet? Okay, we'll have to take a look at that and see. 21 Online, go to mymoxi.sensory21.com, and don't forget, this is great, especially if you guys haven't been using the system, and now you want to use this new one, and you haven't set up your Okta or Google verification. You're going to have a lot of fun getting in there today if it's not working. I'm just letting you know. It's going to be fantastic. Now, a couple things in this system too. So bios, pictures, social accounts, and websites. This needs to get updated in Dash, our backend system. So I highly recommend, and I know we did this at the South Shore location where I sent out something. You guys sent me all of your links and all that stuff, so you should be good. But if you go into this system and you notice that your website is not right, your picture's not right, your bio needs to be updated when you send stuff out, your social accounts aren't linked correctly, this is when you need to send it to either Susie or Angelique. We need to update it in Dash. You cannot do that. It has to be updated in our system because, again, the reason around this, by the way, isn't just, okay, cool, now my website and my links are good. On that, we want to make sure you're updated across everywhere that Sensory 21 sends you. And if you don't have the right picture, then you're not showing up consistently. You got a picture here, you got a picture here, you got a picture here, different bio here, different bio here. It needs to go through Dash to be able to make that work. All right, so let's take a look and see what this looks like. Yes, ma'am. Let's go. Let's open it up for some questions. Go ahead. No, what's your question? If you send a picture and it hasn't been updated yet, you need to reach out to whoever you sent it to. It could be too big of a picture, and so it does not take it. If it's too big, it may not. It might be too small. So that's where I would reach out and say, hey, can you please make sure that this is correct, and let our backend do that, because we don't have access to Dash. Only a handful of people actually do on the administrative side. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what this looks like. So again, you can click on Rise up here. Hey, Tammy, do me a favor. Click on Moxi Engage first, if you don't mind. So if you're still on, Tammy, click on Moxi Engage like I'm doing, and then I want you to go to, I just want to see if you have access this way, and click on Campaigns and see if you have a purple button that says Access New Platform, if you wouldn't mind. Everybody else, what you're going to want to do is just click on Rise, and it's going to take you to this page right here, which are your campaigns. Okay, so just go to Rise for now. And let me walk you through everything that's on here. First thing, again, remember, we're early release and pilot, so we may have some hiccups. Tammy, my recommendation is when you have those hiccups, is you have an email. You can click the little blue button down, or the little chat button down here, and request help directly right there. You can also send an email to beta@moxiworks.com, which is on the top of every page, or at least the homepage here of Engage, or sorry, of Rise. And then you can actually send something directly to them if you're having a little hiccup with something. So if something's not working quite correctly, you can actually go to them. I go directly to beta@moxiworks.com. I don't even put a ticket in. I go directly here because they have a specific team around Moxi Rise for our launch. Okay. Mike, I can't help you with Okta right now. I apologize. All right, so from here, a few different things, okay? You can see that I'm on the dashboard. I can create holiday campaigns. I can do all that there. Let's walk you through what we see on the left here, okay? One, you have the first button up here is called Media. So you can actually upload all your images here that you want to use on all your emails. Okay, so this is one easy way. If you know you have some content that you're going to be sending out, you can easily upload it here by clicking Upload Image on the top right. The other thing that will happen is as you do create emails, and you add graphics, it's automatically going to save them in this media function too for you. So you're able to always go back to some of those pictures. Let's say you have a listing, you have a cool picture that you took, and you want to go back and integrate that into different emails. You'll always be able to pull those in as you bring in some of those graphics. Okay. The next section here are your emails. So one of the things that's very similar to Moxi Engage campaigns and Moxi Rise is when you pull in a campaign, it's going to pull in all of those emails. So if I pull in the holiday campaign, it's going to pull in all, it's like 30 of them, I think, is what's going to end up hitting my email section. Okay. So they're always going to be there. And this is where you can easily come in. Close this out. This is where I can easily come in. If I want to edit, I can click the button on the right-hand side and I can actually edit that email. So I can go in and edit what it says. I can edit. So this is in autumn. This is from earlier this year. I can edit what it says. I can add whatever I want to this. I can add properties to this. I can add other graphics to it. I can change whatever I want, even in the holiday campaign. Okay. Now I'm not going to walk you through how to do that yet. I just want to show you that you can edit any email from here. You can also duplicate, or no, you can't. That's going to be campaign. Sorry. You were supposed to be able to duplicate that. Let me write that down. There is supposed to be a duplicate function. So if you have something that you want to continue to send out, you just want to change some things. Sorry. All right, the next section here is going to be your campaigns. And like I was talking before, similar setup when sending out a campaign, okay? Especially, let's say, an e-blast. So let's say you want to send out a open house that you're having this weekend. You're going to need to go and create the email, and then you're going to go to campaigns and then create the campaign to go out is what you're going to do. Okay, so that's going to be the same. You're not going to be able to directly email from the email that you made. The reason this is, it's not because the system is trying to be stupid. It's protecting you. Because if you try to send an email directly to 1,000 people in your database from your Gmail, let's say, you have the capability of getting blacklisted, which means your email getting shut down and you can't receive anything. The reason it goes out into a campaign is because it uses another provider to send it out to as many people. And it's not always at the same time. You can schedule what time you want these things to go out and say at 9 o'clock, I want this to go. It might take half the day to send it to all 1,000 people just because we don't want to get blacklisted. Blacklisted is not good, which is why you can't send it to thousands of people without going through some type of system. Okay. And then from here, I'll get to the campaigns in a second. Next, you do have your contacts, and this is where you should see your contacts pull in. If you do not see them here, this is where I would probably shoot an email to the beta@moxiworks.com, Tammy, and just say, hey, my contacts have not come through. It's probably just a quick little fix that they have to flip and turn on to make sure that it's there for you. And here you can see all the contacts. You can see who has subscribed, who's unsubscribed. These have all come through. And then in this section here, I can click on them and you can see there's a few different things that I can do here. One, I can see any interactions that they've had. So if I start sending out just listed, I can actually go to listing interactions and it will start showing me where they're interacting at. It'll show me the map. It will show me what properties. It'll show me all of those things as I start sending those things out to our clients. I'll have a section for communication. So when you have set them up, what they're actually receiving. You'll have a little timeline here that will actually start tracking kind of when you are sending things, when they're responding. So similar to Moxi Engage, where you had your activity feed, is going to be in this section here. And then obviously you have your overview. Okay, in your overview, you're able to address if it's a buyer, a seller, a buyer and seller. You can add your insights here. So I can come in here and actually, I think we can do multiple. So we're going to try this real quick. Yes. And so my question, I was incorrect with what I said. You can do multiple zip codes with this. Okay. This section here where it says insight locations is how you sign somebody up for market insights. If your campaign is running, that's all you have to do, and they will get put on to the next iteration that goes out. Okay. So I can come in, I can put all that information, make sure you save it, because if you do not save it, after you put this information in, they will not be good. If I put an address in here and I put that zip code, it will automatically go into the insight section. So if I put my address in here right now, and it would put me on 33573 as my insight location, because that's my address, if that makes sense. Not yet. Well, and this is the thing. There's only 5 things that you can set people up on. Just remember that. There's only 5 things. And when you set to all, one of the features of this, if I have it set to all and I bring somebody in, it's set to all. So as long as they haven't unsubscribed, they're going to go to whatever that is, or if it's in a specific group that I'm signing them up for. If they get into that group, they'll be automatically added to it. The next section on the left is called the workflow. Okay, so I'm not going to do a ton of training on this one right now. Today's training is all about just getting comfortable with the email system and how it's actually going to be working in the campaigns. Here, I'm able to go through and I can actually take my clients and turn them into my new pipeline. So we had the sales flow, which had 4 sections. This one is, I kind of like the way that this is set up. So this one here, when you pull a client in, and so this is part of your cleaning up your database, is going in and identifying if they're buyers and sellers. And then once you do that, identifying where they're at. Okay, so I have a new lead that comes in. You know what? Actually, I'm nurturing him right now. Actually, he's really warm. He's probably going to be doing something. Actually, this one is hot because he needs to find something at the end of the year. He needs something. Then I can move them to in contract and I can move them to closed. So from here, I am able to easily move them in. And at any point, I can look at my database and I can see what my pipeline actually looks like. And then the conversation with this turns into who should you be spending the most time with right now? Marketing, prospecting, following up. Well, I would tell you, anybody that's in a contract, you're probably going to need to be checking on almost daily. Somebody who's hot, that's probably at least once a week, you're probably going to follow up with. Someone who's warm, maybe every other week. Nurture, probably once a month. And then just a new lead, I'm probably going to hit right away just to kind of see where they're going to fall through this. Now, with each one of these, I am able to create tasks for each one. So one of the complaints that I had from Moxi that I heard all the time was I just want to create something to say I need to follow up with Jimmy next Thursday. Okay, cool. So now what I can do is I can actually go into that. I can go in and I can actually create a new task if I wanted to, select the contact that I want, and then put the due date. Yes.
Does that show up on your Google Calendar?
No, it does not show up on your Google Calendar at this time. I don't know if it's going to. So right now the tasks are here. So what I'm going to teach is if you need to see who you need to be following up with, you need to log into this every day and you need to go to your workflow and it will tell you and click on tasks and you'll see it set up of who you need to talk to and when. If you do that every day and you have it set up that way, you're going to know who you need to follow up with today and then you can kind of move on. Okay. With this system, no more of the just generic tasks that come in to tell you to follow up and do things that you don't do for your business. So you don't like using the system. That's really what happens, right? I don't like it. Well, this is how it's set up right now. Let me look at a couple more questions. Can we create our own email campaign? Yes, you can create your own. And I will walk you through that in just a moment. How do I upload my many contacts at once? Okay, so let's go through this real quick. Let's go back to contacts real quick. You can add a single contact right now into the system by clicking create contact and then following through that system. Okay. Right now, if you want to do it in bulk, you still need to use Moxi Engage. Because remember, that feeds into Moxi Rise. So if you have a list of 500 people you want to add, use the Moxi Engage. There's a training that walks you through how to do that. Go through that system, have it uploaded, and then it will feed here. This also, if I add somebody here, will feed back to Moxi Engage too. So you don't have to worry about doing it twice. So if I added someone here like the Chris Plant, my buyer that I'm working with, I added him there and then he fed over to Moxi Engage and everything for me. So it's not, I don't have to double input at any time. Okay. So if you use this system to add, do it here, you could do it in Moxi Engage and it will feed through whichever way you want to do it. Groups are going to be under what they call tags. So when you go to, I don't think we have access to that one right now. Oh yeah, up here. So you have your smart group section here. Again, I didn't want to spend a ton of time on the contact side because I think they're still working through some of that stuff. I found out about a month ago that they had it and they said, oh, I didn't even know they were launching that yet. So it's still fairly new to Century 21 and the Anywhere brand. But you have smart groups where you can see I already had a smart group that came in, which is from my market insights, which was neighborhood news. Okay, so that's already set up. And then I can create other groups where I can come through and actually create what I want to happen if this comes into my database. So if I have someone that comes in from a specific city, I can have them put on a specific group or smart group. So it makes it easier for me to start marketing and things like that if I need to do something. Again, we'll do other training on that when we get down a little bit further. Oh, sorry. And then you do have under contacts, you do have tags. And this is basically, you can see all those groups that came in here. So these are all of my groups that were already in Moxi Engage. This is how they're set for tags right now. As at this point, I don't have a way of adding a separate tag. And you can see anything that I've done that's custom versus what has just come in from Moxi Rise. And the last section is going to be your integrations and profile. Again, you can't change any of this stuff here, so please make sure you just validate this. Integrations, this is where you can connect your Facebook page. So just follow the prompts. It has to be a business page if you're going to use that capability. And then notifications, you can actually turn on campaign reporting. I recommend to do this so that way you don't have to come and look for it all the time. If you do send something out, you're able to get an email to see what that looks like. So let's get into creating an email real quick, just so I can show you how easy it is. And your homework today, I already kind of walked through some of it. We'll be turning off your holiday campaign and Engage, or do this in the next week. Turn off the holiday campaign and Engage. Turn this one on in Moxi Rise. Turn on your just listed and just sold. Okay. Feel free to tweak them if you want before you have them turned on, because you can edit every single one of those emails. And then I'll walk you through, because I know you want to know how to turn off certain holidays and stuff like that. It's super easy to do all of these things in here. Well, you know what? Let's start with campaigns before we do an email. So let's say, for instance, I want to pull in a campaign. You just click the green button at the top right here. And so these are the campaigns that are available. Okay. This is what I was talking about before. The only campaigns that are available at this time are holidays, market insights, just listed, just sold, and then a custom capability. There will be more. And again, once they make the shift over, everything that Century 21 offers will be available. And slowly, and I'll probably send out a tip of the week saying, hey, this one's available now, and this one's available now. Okay. And so from this, let's start with the holiday campaign. So if I pull in a campaign, all I do is click it and hit next. And this will pull in all of those emails. Remember, it pulls in every email into my database, because if you want to edit it, you have to have them in here. So as you can see, this is 2025. I do not have the answer right now of if they're going to add to this. Okay, I'm waiting on that answer. So I'm going to state as of right now, this is going to run through December 24th. All right, so you're going to get a Merry Christmas that's going to go out. I don't know if this ends or if they add anything. I do not have that answer. We may have to start a new campaign. I will let you know when that happens. Now, from here, if there's something you don't want, all you have to do is toggle it on and off. Nope. Yes. Nope. Yes. Nope. Yes. Nope. Yes. Nope. Yes. Got it. Nope. Yes. You can toggle it on and off. Also, from here, if I wanted to, I can preview what the email looks like. So actually pull it up for me. I mean, look how fast this is already going. And I'm on Zoom and there's 100 people online. So this is what the email looks like. Okay. I can click done. I can also come in here and I can edit the email. So if I wanted to edit that email specifically here, this is where I can go in. And I'm not going to walk through editing this one right now, because I'm going to actually kind of build one out for you, so you can see how these pieces are actually working. Okay. So you have an idea of what it looks like, and you can edit whatever you want. So if there is a specific message coming out towards Christmas that you want to land to your database, you can leave what's in there and just add a little bit. Maybe you want to add a little graphic. Jackie's going to take a picture holding like stockings and say, how you doing? Like maybe she wants to do that. I don't know. But here I can easily come through, turn things off, and edit them. I can also change when they go out. This is the thing. If you're doing a campaign like the holiday campaign, I probably will not change the date that it goes out. You probably want to get it there around Christmas or around Thanksgiving. You probably don't want to send it a week later. I mean, that could be a good conversation starter. They're going to be like, okay, you're an idiot. Or like, hey, did you know you did this? Oh man, I can't believe I did it. So how's life, man? You know anybody who's looking at buying or selling a house soon? Like anyways. All right. So that's basically your campaigns. Now from this is what's also awesome is that right now, this is set to send to all. We're sending it to everybody. Okay. We're not going to browse. We're not going to do anything, because this is one of those campaigns that should go to everybody. So we're not going to have all those issues of, okay, what groups, what this and what that. Okay. Now let's try different campaigns. So this is another one I recommend. Market insights again, if you're going to do this. So when you set up the market one, this pops up and says, when you start this campaign, your contacts, neighborhood news subscriptions will be transferred to Rise, and you cannot go back. So this is just giving you a warning. You can pull it in. It only happens when you click start. Okay. So you can add it to your library and start playing around with what this looks like if you want. All right. So once you hit okay, this is kind of what the campaign builder system kind of looks like. It's a little different than what we've seen before with Moxi Engage, but this is how kind of awesome this is. So one, I can click all contacts up here at the top, or I can browse. I can search by individuals. I can also search by my tags. Remember those groups, right? Here's all of my contacts. Here's all of my tags. And here's some of the smart groups. If you do create them, you can find them to easily send it just to whoever they are. Maybe you want to create something for buyers, right? You can select that tag or that group that was your buyers that came over from Moxi Engage. The other thing you could do in here is you get to decide, when do you want this to start? Okay, I wanted this to start, and this is starting on December 1st. Maybe what I want it to do is I want it to start today. I can go and change the date, and I can even change the start time of when this email is going out. So I can now schedule these to go out later. So you don't have to worry about an e-blast, but I got to go do it today. You can take that e-blast that you're going to send out. Let's say it's Monday, you have an open house on Saturday. You know it's coming. What if on Monday is your day to kind of do some of this marketing, and you go in and you schedule on Friday and Saturday an email blast to go out for your open house? You schedule it out, know when it's going to go out, and just know that you don't have to worry about that. You can focus on the other things that you need to be doing, which honestly is really talking to people, not reminding yourself to be in front of a computer at this time when all this stuff happens. And now it's 9 o'clock at night and you're trying to send something out to everybody that you have, right? That happens. So what this is going to do is, first, it tells me like this is a reoccurring campaign because this is market insights. So it's going to start on the first. It's recurring. I can also, this one is recurring. So this one I don't turn off. I can decide when I want this to go out. Please don't pick market insights to go out every single day. I don't think your clients are going to enjoy that. But maybe you want it every 2 weeks. Maybe you want it every month. Maybe you want it every 3 months. Maybe you have a group of past sellers that you want this to go out every quarter. I can set it up for that past seller group that I have set up, right? And then I can set it up to go out every 3 months if I wanted to. And maybe there's a little bit different of a message you want on that quarterly one. However you decide you want to do it. If anything, at least leave it every month, because I think this is something that you should send out every single time. And the next thing you'll see here is the email that it pulled in for it. All right, so this is the Market Insights email that was created. Oh, by the way, you want to see what it looks like? Cool, we click on it. Here is a preview. Okay, now obviously this is a preview, so it's not here, but this will actually have some graphs in there. And I like kind of how it calls it out because the message is a little bit different. Neighborhood news was, here's your market update. Here, the message is a little different every month that it goes out. So just trying to grab attention and things like that for you, which is pretty cool. When you start the holiday campaign and link your Facebook account, what will that message post to Facebook? It does not post. It does not. The holiday campaign does not post to Facebook, Rachel. So if you attach you have to, and I'll get into that in the custom side for it. But when you want to run a campaign with social media, you will drag something into this system here for your Facebook, and then you create the content. So you either type whatever you want, add your photo, whatever that's going to be, and then kind of go from there. But it does not go from this. The holiday campaign does, none of the regular campaigns go directly to Facebook. Okay, they're only email campaigns that are available right now. And then once you're done with that, again, I can edit it directly from here. So I can say, this is what I want, make the changes that you want, and then call it a day. Okay. So let me go back to campaigns and just show you. And then you have your just listed. So my recommendation is everybody needs to turn this on. I don't care if you have a listing or not. What you want to do is you want to come in here, click on listings, add to your library. And then in the first option says, hey, what listings do you want to send out? Well, I want everyone. I don't care what they are. I want it in front of my database. That's how I'm going to set it up. You can take a look to see what it's going to look like with a listing. So you can preview it to say, hey, they'll have the property here. They can click on it, takes them to your website. If they want more information, if they fill out more information, you get a lead, comes directly to you. And then what you want to do at this case is, because this is how easy I think this one is for everybody, is I just want to ensure that everything is checked off, all properties. And then all I want to do is I want to go to all contacts and click start. You're going to do that for just sold. And what this is going to do is it will automatically send as MLS, as you get properties on the market and you close properties right now, will automatically send an e-blast to your entire database unless they've unsubscribed or you do not have their email addresses. I actually have about 700 people in here, and out of the 700, I only have 482 emails, minus the unsubscribes and stuff like that. Those are the only recipients because they're the only ones that have emails. I can't send an email to someone who doesn't have one. And then the question that came up, it says, is this just your listings? Yes, this is just your listings. It's not all of MLS. It's just your listings. Yes. Top right. Yes. That is just the title of it. So when you pull it in, you can actually, so if you look, like you'll see just listed at the top here, I can actually change the title of it so it's easier for me to track. And this is just the email title that came in from Moxi Rise, which if I wanted to change that, I go back to emails and you see here I have my just listed 547 when I went back to those. And then here I can actually change what that email said. Whatever you decide you want to name it. I will tell you, the more that you get in and start playing with it, you will probably start changing these titles. Just because it makes a little more sense, especially when you're tracking and stuff like that. Okay. Now, as you are creating some of these emails, you are to create categories where you can kind of slide them into some of these. So if you start creating custom, you can actually have a folder of them. Let's go. Let me answer this next question. So I get an error. Are your contacts in the system, Rachel? Is that why you're getting the error? Is it because I know Tammy will not be able to set anything up because there's something not working right for her. All right, so let's go in and let me walk you through building something, okay? So let's say I want to create a custom email that I want to send up. I have an open house this Saturday from 11 to 1, and I want to send out a blast to everyone. Now, once the system is set up, there's going to be an option to turn on open houses, and you're going to be fine. But this is just an example. This could be a monthly newsletter that you want to send out. Maybe you want to send out all of your listings that you have. Hey, look at these featured properties that I have with a nice little message or something like that. You can definitely do it. So to create an email, what we want to do is click on emails and go to create email. So if you're sending out an e-blast, this is what you're going to do. You're going to click create email, and then you're going to have two different templates. I always do just the Century 21 base template here on the left. You'll see some other ones pop in, and eventually you're going to see brokerage. You'll see our content in here, and I'll let you know when we're able to do that for you, but right now we can't. All right, what you're going to do is you need to name your email. What is this weekend? So the 20th, let's say 22nd. I hope this is even right. I don't even know if this is the right time for this, but put the address in, whatever, however you would decide you want to do this. Let me see. I got some more. I got a network area. John Evans, Okay, so John, I'm going to answer some of these questions. Will Moxi Rise finally integrate with .loop? So just so you know, John, as of right now, no. Two, Moxi Engage does link with .loop. You can start loops from Moxi Engage right now. Okay. But no, it does not. And this is the thing. You probably wouldn't use it the way it's intended to. Most agents don't, where you're creating all this stuff prior to even going into it. So by the time that works, and more information on .loop later. Let me do a listing campaign. I don't actually have one right now. I'm gonna do an open house and I'll show you how to create the campaign in a minute. So let me just walk you through how to create a custom email. And this is really, really easy. This is just the templates that's set up right now. So on the right-hand side, if I need a heading, I just drag and drop it in here. I'm so glad I can type, and I can't type and do Zoom at the, gosh, geez. I just can't. Ready? All right, so we're gonna do this. All right, I'm gonna have an open house. You can bring in specific columns of text very easily where I can start typing and changing stuff. Okay, I can easily pull in images. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in an image. So if I have, this is where my images will show up if I've already uploaded a whole bunch of stuff. But in this case, I don't. So I'm going to upload one, and we have, I'm going to use two of our tools. I'm going to go to Moxi Impress, and I'm going to get my open house picture for Ashley Oaks that's happening this weekend. And then I'm going to add that into, okay, and it's the 22nd, not the 22nd was right. Cool. So now I have an image that's in here. All right. I can come through, I could do an image, and I can put text next to it. I can pull in a featured listing, multiple featured listings. Let's say, for instance, I want to link this out to my website, right? All I have to do when I'm on this is click this little house down here, and it's going to pull up all the listings for the brokerage. In this case, it was under, I think, Ashley. Pull this up. I don't understand the need to integrate the two. I don't understand the need to integrate the two platforms. Okay, Lauren, let's walk through this. Why do we, so when you say integrate the two, you mean the difference between Engage and Rise, if you wouldn't mind? Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. Mike Clayman, if we turn on Market Insight, do we still enter new contacts engage? Mike, we went through how to add a contact separately in Moxi Rise, but you can add them in either place if you'd like. Okay. Market Insights, when you turn that on, just takes your neighborhood news. It turns that off and only goes to the Market Insights. All right, so now I got my property in here. I just found it. I took a click. I clicked it. Here you go. Here's all the information. Maybe I want to put multiple properties in here. Again, all I have to do is click. We will see an option that's going to have grids and lists. So I can actually put like 10 properties in if I wanted to that are just kind of in nice little lists. So people, like if you're focusing on waterfront properties and you want to kind of push that out, you'll be able to do that. Okay. I can put a chart in. Oh my God, what am I going to do with this chart? Well, you know what? I think what I want to do is look at average price in this area. Let's say Apollo Beach. Oh, where? Neighborhood, place, post. Let's go to Postal City. And I want the last 3 months, what's been happening. And let's do a line graph. Boom. So now this is going to be integrated into the system, right? So you can get some very specific data points if you want to add that to the system. I love this. So like when I do the Market Insights already has some of this stuff, but when I send out, I don't know if anyone has actually looked at the newsletter. If you're in my database that I send out, that I've been sending out the last 4 months, but I pull in our newsletter, bring those graphics in, and then I add a chart to say this is what's happening in the area, right? And I can pick, you can actually do a couple of these if you wanted to say Apollo Beach, you want to do Riverview, you want to do Fort Myers, you want to do Sarasota, whatever you want to. This again, it's just giving you some content where they can start clicking and start doing some things into the system. And then you will see down here by media, there's going to be an option that you'll be able to slide in video, and all you need is a YouTube link, and you can add that to it. So you can and it will keep them basically in the email. They have all that great stuff that's in there, but that's literally how easy it is to kind of come and create it. So how I use this tool is I would use it for open houses. I would use the scripted tool in like Beggins University to come up with some type of email script or something I can throw into this if you don't want to create anything. I'd do something like that and I'd pull in the property and then I'd start sending something like this out. So like I look at Jesse Griffin. Jesse, I see you pulling in. I mean, hopefully you can see how easy this is to kind of pull information and do certain things. Like, look how fast this is. Like, it is just so fast. And then you can also come down, by the way. I need to delete this. You can also come down and please just validate your information down here. I cannot fix all of this, but if I can edit what's down here. So if I don't have Pinterest or Instagram or things like that, you can see that these things are all fed from Century 21. Okay. These are all fed from Century 21 dash. So this is why it's important to make sure you have that in there. If you don't, I can turn that off and then I can actually put in whatever links that I want. So I would just validate that stuff just to make sure that you're good. In this case, what you'll see is if you do not have an account for, let's say, Pinterest, it's going to go to century21beggins.com. Like we can change what these actually are going to. So in this case, I'm turning these off because I do not have Pinterest. And then you'll also notice that if your website's not in there, it's probably going to take you to Century 21's website. Okay, so still going somewhere if you're not set, but the idea is to make sure that these are all correct. And if not, you can still edit them. So I recommend if you're building something out, look at your signature line down there. Now you can see I made those adjustments and now it's just Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Okay, I can also come down and start changing some of this stuff. All pulls in directly from Dash and our Century 21 stuff. All right, so let's say you have created an email. I'm going to go ahead and save this. Said something here. Do you want to make sure your subject? Oh, I might need a subject line. That might work. Probably want that. And then now we're going to save it. Oh, I got to select my category. Let's just do marketing. Save. So once I've created my emails, you can do multiples of these. So let's say you want to create your own campaign. Okay, this is how you're going to do it. You're going to take a template, you're going to create whatever you want, and you're going to kind of go through all of that stuff there. Once you're done, now it's time to send it out. Now, I am not going to send this out because it's not done and it looks like crap. So it's probably not the best thing for me to do right now. But to send it out, I'm going to click campaigns. I'm going to click create campaign again. And in this case, I'm just going to go to custom. All right, this pulls in that screen that we're like, oh crap, what is all this stuff here? And this is kind of, I think this screen is kind of fun, to be completely honest. So what it tells you to do is first we need to start a time. So when is this going out? So we take what we're doing. The first step is when is this going out? You come in and say, I want it on start. So when I click start, it's going out. Maybe I want to say, I can choose the date. I can choose the time of when this is. So let's say I want this to go out tomorrow and I want to do it later when everybody's getting home from work to let them know we're doing this open house. All right, boom. Now it says, what do you want them to do? Well, in this case, I'm going to send an email. Awesome. Well, what email do you want to send? I probably want to do the open house on 11/22. Oh, maybe I need to preview it. Pull it up. Here's my email that was not completed. Doesn't look that good. It is what it is. You get the idea. And this is one of the cool things I do. See, this is why I don't like this stuff here, because if it's not there, it's still like blank. So anyways, that was me screwing around. Take your time when you actually build these out. And let's say I preview it and I'm like, oh, I need to make an adjustment. I can still always click edit and I can kind of tweak that email one more time. All right. If that's all I'm doing, this is going to go out on Friday at 6:30 p.m. All I have to do is decide who it's going to, all contacts, browse the specific contacts and hit start. Maybe I'm doing a more of a 5-week campaign, or I'm doing like, I want to you know what I want to do is after the open house, or you know what? I want to send the next day. So I'm going to go in one day. So I would probably shift this a little bit. Let's say the next day I want to send out, let everybody know again about the open house. Cool. So I'm going to set an interval to say in one day, I want the same email to go out. So I'm getting in front of people before the open house. Maybe I decide that I want to send something out on Monday. So we're going to say in 3 days, I want to create another email that says, hey, we had 25 people at the open house. Or maybe it's a little more generic about like, we had a great time at the open house. If you know anybody who's looking for this area or something like that. So you can create a campaign that way. You can create a buyer campaign and say, hey, I want this to go out every day. I want this to go out on this date. I want this to happen. You can create campaigns like that if you want to do something. Maybe you have a specific message that you're going to focus on this holiday and you want to send out 5 different emails in the next month and a half. You can create that and easily set up in here how to kind of do these things. Okay. And then you also have the ability of being able to bring in, so this specific campaign I can't, but you can actually post on Facebook. And when you drag that in 2 days, it's going to post on Facebook. And then you can put the content that you want in there. It doesn't create it for you. You do need to create the content that you're looking for. And then it will post on Facebook for you. Now I'm having an issue with connecting my Facebook account, so I don't know if anybody else is. Can you add the action, the send a text just to the agent to know? All right, so can you add to action the send a text just to the agent to know what to do when building our campaign? I don't quite understand that. Yeah, I'm having an issue. I think because I have a beta version and I actually have 2 ways to get into this. And so I think it's an issue with that personally, because this is the new way in there. If I go a different way to go into it, I have like 25 different campaigns I've built and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, but I'm not Disney Orlando realtor. I don't know what you mean by send a text. There's no texting capability through this. It's only email campaigns or possibly posting on Facebook. And then one of the really cool options that is also coming, I probably shouldn't talk about it, but I'm going to. One of the other options that you're able to build in here are campaigns that are started based on interactions and how people are interacting with your emails. So I get one of the cool, and I'll let you know when it's available, but one of the cool options is, let's say you send out this open house one with the property link. Maybe you have a video that you add to it, stuff like that, and somebody clicks on the property. You can have a campaign set that if somebody clicks on a specific link or anywhere on this email, they get set up on a different campaign, and you can create it or you can use one of the ones that are available. So they're behavioral based. So you can actually see who's clicking on, what they're clicking on. You have it specifically link based. If you have the listing presentation maybe built into one of your emails and they click on it, you can actually have it set up to go, let's say, to a seller follow-up plan email campaign that's ready to go. No, you cannot text from this. No texting. No texting from the system. I don't know if there's even plans to do that. Moxi Engage has a thing that you can link up to text, called Waze, but it's not the or Wave. It's not the texting is very very slippery slope, especially in a system like this that you're going to be sending to everybody in bulk. It's a very slippery slope when you're doing bulk texting. I do it one off. I wouldn't do any type of bulk on that standpoint. All right, so I'm going to stop there. I know that was a decent amount. The idea though today is I would get in there in the next week, learn how to get your holiday campaign set up, turn off your other campaigns. To turn off a campaign, all you have to do is when you go to Moxi Engage, find the campaign you want. And again, it's just going to be the holiday campaign. That's all you need to. I've already stopped mine. All you're going to do is click on the campaign. In this case, the holiday campaign. You're going to click archive and it stops it. And then if you really want to delete it all the way, you'll come over to where it says archived, click on it, and then hit delete. And then it's out of your Moxi Engage and you don't have to worry about anything. But that's how easy it is to actually get in and stop a campaign. Yeah, if you have issues connecting to Facebook, do me a favor. I mean, I'll give some insight. I have a call with them at 5 o'clock today. And then yes, Jennifer, if they unsubscribe, they will be unsubscribed. To delete, if you want to delete contacts and engage, you either go to your My People, click on them and hit delete, or in Moxi Rise, you can click on the person and you can right click over here. This one I can't delete from here, it looks like. Oh, if you just click on the person on the left and then I can click delete and it'll take them out there. The main feature of today I wouldn't say is getting into all the contacts and stuff right now. I mean, I would not worry about like the workflow or anything like that right now. What I would focus on is one, ensure your contacts are getting in there. If they're not, put a ticket in so they can get that refreshed and get all your people in there. Okay. Get the holiday campaign set up, turn on what you want or turn off what you don't want for that to go, get that running. Turn on your just listed and just sold, get that running so we don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Set up market insights if you're deciding to use that right now, get that started so it's in the system. Okay. And then if you are going to create something, go in and start playing around with the custom side and play around, but I wouldn't focus on some of those other things right now. The focus to me is just getting in to understand how to get some of these things started up. And then go from there. Hey, Mike, that's cool. You found a QR code generator that reports weekly. That's awesome. Use the code and build an email. You know, that you will notice that when you do send out your campaigns, everything that it's just running. So I don't have anything that here. I'm going to switch real quick. I'm sorry. I don't mean to show you guys this. I have access to a little bit more right now because I'm testing stuff. So like if I wanted to look at the newsletter here, I can actually look at reporting and it will tell me how many people are viewing interactions, what they're clicking on, what they're not clicking on. Okay. Tells me what device what they're actually looking at, how many people got it, how many views. It tells me who the people are. So I can really kind of look through some of that stuff. So the reporting feature, this will tell you who's opening your emails and who's clicking and what's working. So if you're sending out something specific, the way I would use this is send some stuff out for the next few months and then go in and start looking at the reports to see what people are clicking on. If everybody's clicking on the videos that you're adding, add more video to your stuff. If everybody's clicking on the market insight links, make sure that's in some of the stuff you're sending. If they're clicking on all the properties, make sure you continue to do some of that stuff because that's what your database is actually looking for.